Hey guys, what's up? This is JJ Andy. Welcome to CG Market Watch. So Crypto Grinders is an established channel that specializes in the education of trading and investing of digital asset. Whatever we discuss in our channel is just our personal opinion and should not be taken as financial advice. Alright, so on today's episode, we want to talk about, is Bitcoin really worth $1 million, right? In fact, IBM crypto chief said about that, and we're going to be covering that later on. Now, first of all, let's go to the coin market cap to study the market first. Alright, so what you are seeing now is this. Now, in coin market cap terms, our market cap is currently at 134 billion, right? And 24 hours volume is at 25 bill, and Bitcoin dominance is currently at 51.9%. Now, this dominance per se has been adjusting itself in the last few days. It has been going through 52.1%, 51.7%, and even up to 51.9% right now. And the thing is, today is a Friday. And we don't see much volume going to be coming in today. There may be some dip coming in the future, or at least for today. So be prepared for that. Alright, so volume will be very thin for this, at least for today. Now, so the first news I want to cover, before that, let me just quickly cover some of the tokens. So once again, today is a Friday. Most of the tokens are in red. But I guess it's maybe a great time to pick up some tokens that you feel has a strong fundamental. Why? It's partly because you may see some recovery coming in on the weekends. Alright, so you can see that VeChain, Ontology, and also Waves are going through some upside. Yeah, so I think that's kind of like a good sign. I mean, we have seen how the major caps or the major tokens been recovering very nicely the last week. Bitcoin has been staying above $3,900. That's kind of like a good news. And I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin more in the next few segments or the next few news. So stay tuned on that. Alright, so let's begin and talk about this particular news. Now, IBM crypto chief sets massive Bitcoin price target at $1 million. So IBM Jesse Lund said that 1 million Bitcoin's price is a real possibility. Now, the only thing that he didn't mention was the time frame. Alright, so he didn't say that you will reach 1 mil in a particular time frame. I think one of the reasons why he said so was because of this word called utility. Alright, so he personally believes that as Bitcoin gains that utility, as it's being spread all around the world, more people are transacting in it, more people are using it, more merchants are accepting it, you will have in general the whole world using it per se. Alright, so the more people transact in it, the more the network is spread, the more utility value it has. Now, one of the reasons why Bitcoin will gain in value possibly is also partly because of its fixed supply, right? So the supply is fixed. There's no way to increase it by code, by chance, by BIP, which is Bitcoin Improvement Protocol. There's no way that Bitcoin backers or maximalists will agree with increasing the supply of Bitcoin, right? And once again, it's just a code. So they're not going to be increasing it, right? And therefore, you have something like that saying that I have a long-term, by New Year's Eve, he predicts the price of Bitcoin will be $5,000, but yeah, it didn't kind of happen, right? Did he mention, before the end of 2009? Oh, never mind. So I have a long-term outlook, right? It goes back to the discussion about the utility of the network with a higher price. I see Bitcoin at $1 million someday, meaning to say if today you're holding on to one Bitcoin, you are a millionaire. Congratulations, guys. And that means that over 20 trillion of liquidity in this network. Think about 20 trillion in liquidity and how that changes things like corporate payments. Now, it may be a possibility in the future, but this will actually make a lot of people rich, alright? And Bitcoin will have to really, merchants will have to accept it. People will have to transact in it, and it becomes a real payment processor, a real payment gateway, or people really use it, then it will have value, alright? If not, it may also become like valueless. That may happen as well, alright? So with views that Bitcoin's price gets high enough, serious banks take more interest. Now, in fact, currently you can see that the more banks, institutions are setting it right. They're setting a stage for Bitcoin's eventual return. I don't know when. They set up custodial wallet services. They have set up certain funds. They are looking into certain indexes as well. Certain retirement funds even, right, for using cryptocurrency per se as a hedge asset. So you realize that, hey, maybe he may be right? I mean, how we know, right? He may be wrong as well. So $1 million seems a very, very far-fetched target. We don't know where's the time frame, but we'll see when's that gonna happen. That may happen. I hope so eventually. Right, okay, so when we talk about utility then, okay, which brings us to the next news. Now, when we talk about this, so I think most of our viewers here, we are either using either iOS, which is Apple products, or we're using Android services, right? We're using Android. Now, one of the biggest representation of Android these days is Samsung, right? So Samsung is a Korean company, and we do know that in Korea, or South Korea to be exact, cryptocurrency was a very huge topic back then, right, in 2017. In fact, there was so much news on it, right? The Korean government has been, trying to regulate it as well. So right now, Samsung Galaxy S10, I'm no longer a Samsung fan. I mean, in terms of phone, for now, yeah, I have to be honest. I can't wait for S10 to come out, and it's gonna be expensive. But in general, all right, they have included defense-grade Samsung Knox, as well as a secure storage backed by hardware, which houses your private keys for blockchain-enabled mobile services. So here you go, guys. So S10 is creating something which is blockchain and crypto-centric feature that allows apps that are so-called blockchain supported to be on the phone. All right. So, and also a crypto wallet to be on the S10. All right. So that is kind of like, I mean that is cool, all right, to me. That is also one way of how Samsung can reach out, or even be, at least for the handphone space, right? Technology space and handphone space, it's very fast moving. It could be even faster than normal FMCG products, right? Normal, be it Nestle, be it Unilever, handphone products or handphone per se, technology per se, moves in a 1 year to 6 month cycle, 6 months to 1 year. You realize that new phones are launched every 6 months or even a year, right? Because technology and handphone especially comes and moves in that circle. Whereas for FMCG products, you may see it moving in 1 year or at least 2 years kind of cycles, right? So new products get pushed out every year or every 2 years after R&D. So you realize for phones, it's very, very fast. So in order to be ahead of every markets or every different companies in terms of phone manufacturers, Samsung is creating something like that with wallet integration. You're able to store cryptocurrency on it, and at the same time, you're able to use blockchain apps, all right, that are developed on certain protocols. So, this is adoption on its own, right? And in fact, if let's just say example, everyone who's holding on to Samsung phone in the future, be it S10, S11, S12, S whatever, and they can all become a node. All right, be it a master node, be it a candidate node, be it a node to support the Samsung network, all right, and then decentralizing it and making a blockchain in that sense, and any other phone companies can develop on Samsung's protocol as a blockchain. That is way powerful. It can decentralize the network almost instantly, and at the same time, every one of you that are walking now becomes a node for the phone or for the company, right? So that is quite an amazing thing when you decentralize the whole network. But this is coming to Samsung, right? This is real utility, real adoption in that sense. But utility is still questionable, to be honest, because we don't know what they're going to be doing with it. But adoption is definitely there, no doubt. All right. Next, now we have this new platform that converts crypto to fiat without knowing your customer requirements. Now, this is kind of, well, in terms of regulators' point of view, I don't think it'll be quite popular, right? So what we are saying here is that cryptocurrency wallet Mu, MyEther wallet, very famous, very popular. We've been using it. In collaboration with crypto finance firm BT, are releasing a platform to convert cryptocurrency to fiat without KYC. Now I know when we say just this, convert cryptocurrency to fiat without KYC, I'm sure a lot of regulators have this tingling ears saying, no, this is like some spider sense going on, this is dangerous. And for the announcement, user of Mu V5 wallet are now able to exchange up to 5,000 Swiss francs worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum to Euro and Swiss franc without going through KYC inside the wallet, right? Well, this brings about a whole cans of worms. I guess number one is, what if we talk about money laundering, right? What if we talk about people wanting to cash out, in a legal manner, in a way that no one can find out, then this is the wallet I will go to, right? No more KYC. Now, I'm also wondering what kind of fees do they charge, right? I mean, if you're doing this service, you're not doing KYC, there's a lot of repercussions to it, right? Where did the funds come from? The banks will have a problem as well. So unless they are able to secure their issues and know that the banks are able to regulate it, or even the government itself is okay with this idea, well, this may go through, all right? So we'll see. I think this is kind of like all I can say is right now there are a lot of liquidity providers. There are also banks coming into the space, like example JP Morgan creating their own token, which is used in their own internal system. And we have many custodial wallet services and whatever. So the only thing I can say is, right now the stage is almost set, right? We are, this is like the lightings are being on, right? The curtain is being drawn for now, and we are just setting up the props behind this on stage. And the audiences are just outside, waiting to watch the performance, right? So everyone's just setting the stage, the props and everything is up and running. The only question is, when will the curtain be drawn, right? When will it open? And then BTC is gonna pump. So that's the question that we need to ask. But here's a few telltale signs that I want to just share with you all quickly. Now, before that, let me just go to UTXO first. Now, so this is the number of unspent transaction output of Bitcoin. And it has been increasing day on day. All right, I say day on day. It's about 100,000 increase day on day. I've been tracking it on a daily basis, and we have realized that the number of outputs has been increasing. Now, for those who don't kind of understand this, let me just explain slightly. It's the number of unspent Bitcoin transaction output, right? Basically, it kind of means that how heavy the network is, how many transactions are going through, but it's being blocked, or in a sense it's slow, right? So it's still being stuck on the blockchain, and you still haven't get to the person you want to send to. So that's why there's a slight delay in Bitcoin transaction. Now, for those who have been sending some Bitcoin lately, or in the past few days, you realize that transactions now can take up to 2 hours or 3 hours, right? I experienced that firsthand when I transferred some Bitcoin, and I realized, wow, this is so long. 2 or 3 weeks ago, Bitcoin, if you send a Bitcoin, you can receive it probably in like 1 minute, all the way up to maybe 15 minutes, you receive that quickly. But now it takes almost 2 hours and 3 hours. So that's how heavy the network is. And when we're looking at this, Bitcoin transaction per second approaching all-time high, you kind of realize that transactions are going up. The network weight is increasing. The fees to transfer is getting more expensive. This is just how the network, adjusts on its own, how the difficulty rating is adjusting. And you realize that Bitcoin transaction rate is currently at its highest since December 2017. Despite the 14-month long bear market, transaction per second on the rise, the top ranked cryptocurrency is also experiencing a resurgence in both actual use case, especially in emerging markets, and interest as seen in the latest Google search trend. So well done, guys. So well done, right? So whoever did that, Google search trends are going up again. I guess that's great news. And volume is really picking up, and we can see that even from charts alone on the 4 hours. Okay, for now, we can see that OBV is currently on a high, right? So volume is picking up. RSI is still on a low. I have no idea why is it oversold, right? Probably because we went all the way out to overbought. There was a slight dip. That's it. It was hardly a dip. I don't really see much of a dip, right? But you can see in terms of Chico span, you can see that in terms of Ichimoku or Kumo cloud, we're still on a high. We're still very far away from the cloud, so there may be more movement coming. But we do see a symmetrical triangle formation forming right now on 4 hours, so we may see some action, be it in terms of going up or downwards. All right. So personally, for me, I feel that we may see some downward play first. That means we might see a downward action or a downward price action, and then more recovery again later on, right? So right now we're about 3911 on Bitstamp, so we may head all the way down to about 3885. At most, I feel we could really go to 3830, but that's really a struggle as well. All right, but that's a 0.382 Fips level. So we will see. All right, so if the market really reaches at 3830, I will be longing. Okay, in that sense, if it really does head to that direction. Now, if not, we may head up again, another leg up, right? So a lot of different traders and analysts are saying that Bitcoin may go to $5,000 in the next few weeks to come, right? So we shall see. Maybe that will happen, maybe that will not, but at least for now, I would really prefer for Bitcoin to just consolidate in terms of prices, not retrace, consolidate, so that more buyers can come into the space and really move volume, right? So when I say move volume, I meant that it is not the exchanges that are moving the volume, rather it's real volume, people using fiat, using cash to buy the Bitcoin, and that's what I call volume, right? Real organic volume, buying of volume. So you need Bitcoin to consolidate for a while and not be pumping all the way so that people can buy in, right? So the moment when you keep seeing all this pumping action, it doesn't really help or encourage people to come in. It only creates FOMOness, but for people to want to come in, the price has to stabilize slightly, so people can make a decision. Okay, so today it's at $3,900. Maybe I'll come in since it has been consolidating. If every day is going up by $500, I tell you the FOMOness will kick in. but at the same time, people don't know when to buy in, right? So you need that consolidation so that buyers can come in again. You need that consolidation so that the market can rest, smart money can get out a little bit, and then the market will pump again. So that is what is required, guys. So please, if you are very new to trading and investing, please understand this theory in that sense, all right? Now, so this is Bitcoin, right? Let's take a look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum-wise, we are also currently at a low, at oversold on 4 hours. The volume is still pretty okay. Once again, it kind of respects the movement of BTC price as well, our chart movement. So you do see that we are still on a symmetrical triangle formation. So we may head up all the way again, but we do see a huge resistance level at 149, in fact $150. So unless we breach that level, then we can say that maybe we have more price action for on Ethereum. Now, once again, why would Ethereum has so much positioning or so much power in terms of movement? It's partly because of the fork that may be happening as well. Constantinople upgrade is rumored to be end of February, and also maybe March as well. All right, so we're still not sure on when's the exact date, or maybe the date is really out. But you know, this is one of the reasons why Ethereum is pumping at slightly more than BTC. All right. Whereas for Litecoin wise, well, Litecoin's movement is kind of, I would say it's kind of interesting, right? Why? Partly because you can see that out of the 3 charts per se, Litecoin's movement seems to be more, I wouldn't say erratic, I would describe it as more positive, right? Because you've seen how the movement has went up 2 levels, 2 times, and now we are kind of on a slow dip, and potentially we may have another rise up again. We have the golden cross happening. At the same time, we are currently oversold. In fact, BTC, Ethereum, and Litecoin are all oversold on 4 hours. Alright, so on daily wise, we'll check it later. But for Litecoin, for now, we do see a resistance level at $50 or so. You may hit up to 50.2 on a trend line, and then we dip slightly again. Well, all this movement is based on BTC. The only advice I can really give on a Friday is not to take in too much trades, just to observe BTC price movement first. You can then decide on what trades you want to take on the Sunday, because normally market will take Friday and Saturday to kind of decide its direction for the next week. So this is what I would always do. I would just take in certain position at certain price point or certain tokens, and then I'll write it out of Friday and Saturday, and then I'll see on the weekends will there be more recovery, will there be more price action, will there be more volume, and then I'll decide my action for next week, right? So you need to be more, I guess we need to be more oriented in terms of how the market sentiment is moving, right? So when we think in a week's time, we plan in a week and we take action daily. So that's what we need to do, right? We plan on a weekly basis on what you want to do, what trades you may want to look at, and then on a daily basis you just look at volume, just look at various stuff to gauge how's the trade doing. All right, so let's take a look at daily on BTC, and then that will be all for today. Yeah, so we do see that we're above the Kumo cloud, very good. On RSI though, we're kind of on overbought situation. Volume is still pretty okay, I would say. We're above the cloud, that's for sure. All right, so whether or not we'll dip back down, that's very hard to say based on daily cloud. But on 4 hours, I think 12 hours, let's see. On 4 hours, we do see it does seem like we'll be heading up more. There may be more leg up movement, but I do see that if there is a chance of BTC dipping below 3.9, I feel that the buying volume will be quite substantial as well. People will start buying at any point in time when BTC dips. So that's why you need to get ready. Alright, so this is just my own personal opinion. It may not come true, who knows, right? So anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Safe investing. There'll be more updates coming along CG Protege. So if you can find the link below, join CG Protege. Do like, comment, subscribe. You know, let us know how we can improve on CG Market Watch. I'll be listening to you guys. You know, we can see what we can input and push more content out, great contents on it as well, right? So there'll be more updates coming along with regards to our groups as well. So stay tuned, safe investing, and I will see you guys next week.
If you want to stay updated with the latest blockchain and cryptocurrency news, consider subscribing to our channel, and don't forget to click on the notification bell. We'll see you in the next episode.